나간서 그시 만주 동아 안에 야와이다 연료기 동아 되는 여러에서 시키 다지 모터 거야 돼 가르를 람나 너 거기 동아 될래 가서 가서 동아 될래 탈되기 될래 마탄다 탑미누 선배 탈되기 삼바 계획에 된다라 먼저디 만송도 동아티 용어를 제발해서 언도 전에 그시 아니 탈되기 삼바 계획이나 가르여서네 안에 가송에 계획 규디 디바레스 대상 가송에 디바데 방고도스 안에 가송들에 타나 덴트리기 고레스 덴트리기 규디 개와레스 세상 계획이 교주 듣고 고레스 디신야게 된다라 안도 수신에 모두 지고레스 가산디 거시에상서.
Good evening. Last week we spoke about the suffering of the three lower realms. So we continue to look at the sufferings that beings are experiencing in the hell realms, in the Preta realm, as well as in the animal realms. And we spoke about the reasons why we need to come to understand this topic well, or why we need to reflect well on this topic, is so as to give rise to the strong determination that we must do everything in our power, everything we possibly can, to prevent ourselves from falling into any of the lower realms in our future lives. And the causes that lead to such a rebirth are negative karma. So part of the outcome of that meditation is the commitment to ensure that one does not engage in any negativity, no matter how slight, so as not to create any further possibilities that should these karmic causes ripen, one will end up falling into these realms of great suffering, these realms where one's spiritual progression is ceased.
안에서 다들인 건조 가르쳐야습니다네 나서도 나서에 들라 타나 타야기 디버포야다 데 데르게 전다 주 개와사고 고레스 되는 사와이는 간에 사고 고레스나다 안디네디나 사고 고레스데 는 주사 개와 좁다 고마시 시고르와.
In order to be freed of the possibility of lower realm rebirth, we need to not only abandon accumulation of further negativities, but virtue must be accumulated, because it's virtue that creates the causes to be reborn in the happy migrations. So tonight then, we will continue in the text looking at how to go about accumulating virtue, accumulating positive karma.
And sikdedoa ona nga sodo migiwe tabla jidar be nyamna side 제상 nga sodo kena kanga yorela roda 제상 nga sodo magi tabkane 시고 그래서 roda nga sodo kena dene 계리야 nga sodo ke바나 kanga dene 요바이나 델라 nga sodo magi tab시 간에 시고 그래서 nga sodo migiwe tabla jidar be nyamna sine.
Turning to the text near the top of page 21, this, after the first paragraph, what are the methods to cut off the path to lower rebirth? To prevent rebirth in the lower realms, one needs to accumulate virtue. How to do so? Well, these are the various methods for the accumulation of virtue, and that's what we're going to start looking at here.
개와 차거면 간주이 직제 최 켈레나 말레네 샬리아 안지게 펜비 삼나다제 샬리아 안지 미교당 안 셈징의 동아 세야당 샬로 제반에 펜바데 네 개와 차거로 와서 개와래.
We would, whether someone's religious or not, having a wish to be of benefit to others and thereby practicing generosity in order to ease their suffering. this is a virtuous act. One doesn't have to be religious for such an act of generosity, such as giving, aiding those who are impoverished or helping animals. One doesn't have to be religious for that act, done with a good motivation, to be virtuous. Whether someone has as an objective to not fall into the lower realms, or actually to even be freed of the possibility of being born in the lower realms, one needs to go for protection. One needs to go for refuge.
And the Jamdro said the Ganachilla Gyatso and Ganesha said the Jamdro Gyatso to you two says you. That Gyatso draws Hana and the Garjoras and the Gyatso to you Jamdro Labja, the Labja Jango, Labja Labores, Gabriel Labja Labore said on the Negi de Sandro Chagore, Sajal Masona.
This topic of refuge, this has a number of divisions. So one starts out by looking at what are the causes for going for refuge. So that's the first topic. The second is the objects of refuge. In other words, to whom does one go to for refuge? And then thirdly, how does one go for refuge? What is the method for doing so? And fourthly, what are the precepts of refuge? So just to, now from the translator's side, to say at this point, the term that's always used here is refuge. To understand it differently, this term can also be translated as protection, or help or assistance. So when you hear the term refuge, you can think of going for refuge, going for help, going for protection, going for assistance. So understanding it through these other terms gives, I think, a fuller flavor of the meaning of the word refuge.
And the some Nazi Dumaro, Nyon, Nazi Dumaro, Chinonji, Duma, Nazi Dele, the Mero, so Nazi Tago, Sempe, some Nazi da Hamona, Manzulus Bull and Nazi Jovene, Nazi Jova Hamona, and Nazi Dele Tago to Sempe Nazo de Mero, so Sempe, some logic Yomara. Chisa, Mevanza, and it Tambon and Zugusubula, Nazi Gario meeting as a Hakovache. That he must be a Masona, Nazi Hakovache. Nazi Hago or Nazi Dele de Martin the Tabminus and Biggie, then Nazi de Yoba Nazi de la Tarduke, somebody Kiangurova. Nazi de la Tagudu, some like Kiandu, then Nazi di Ma Mevaswege, Tapshi, Mevaswe 2 years, Sulu Nubu, Lavio, and Zugi, member Cavali, or Quim Nuba, and Quim Mevaswe, 2 years and big Tapshi de Yores and Piantugi, the that Nazi member get Tulsi, looked in Chicken, Suri Labna, member Cabadilla, Dingorva. The member Cabadilla Dingo, member Cabadigi, Anzolia, Mente. Tizada, Mente. Mending Anzo Saela, and me again, Dudolia, didn't in a Sapor, didn't Chever, Sempiking Anzugi, Menshapik Roche, or do Sheva Latin Anzugi, Nazi Segorva. Or Bedina, and that Perus, down with Bedi teacher.
To gain an understanding of this topic of refuge, and an analogy of a patient is often used. If someone is ill, it's imperative that they come to understand that they are ill, that they recognize that there are symptoms, and they come to be correctly diagnosed as being ill. Because if they have no idea that their body is afflicted with disease, the thought to be cured from this disease will not even arise in their mind, let alone will they strive to become cured. So it's imperative that if someone is afflicted with a disease, that they come to recognize this. Because it's once they've recognized that they are afflicted with the disease, that the thought will arise, I want to be healed from this. And thereafter the thought will come, how can I become healed from this disease? Who can assist me? And then they will seek out skilled physicians to aid them in this quest to heal from their disease. Seeing a skilled physician, being correctly diagnosed, then medication will be prescribed, also possibly changes to their lifestyle. And moreover, they will be put in touch with other skilled healthcare professionals who will assist this patient in their healing. So this analogy is very useful to come to understand the process of refuge.
Geshe Thubten Rabten kigire ande dendroli kigires. Chazada ngasong kewayna an ngasong dunga kane sakanga dende yore sede ngasong dunga ko mo shero. Chazadi sheyade ngasong dunga de hako de ngasong dunga le odadele chik ngasong le peken de pesasare sabi dele chik samdayadi ane kamrike gyuseorda kasankinyi ngaso di kesenya sheyadige da kamrike gyusegor ngasong ko nyawa ida dunro ane chik dene kena dene dunga yore samkeyodo ngasong dunga pe mas chi shenar dene kende pe kanga chesare sambe ane jigbashi ngasong dunga le jigbar kiyada 다나 가서 디발에 지바기에 된 가서 동안에 지어도 텔레 타고도 스타데 술교배 누바 수요라랍나 아니 텔레교배 누바디 다 컨트롤요레 셈비게 위어바 시에바디 아니 컨트롤스므로 예비게 여바라 시에비게 시에바디 이체바디 다 컨트롤스므로 요레 세비 이체바디 다 디니디 니보디 먼저 점르기 규샤고레 나송게 동안에 직제 델레 교비 누바디 아니 권조스는 여러 해서비 이시리제 로아 어디니 보지 삼는 보지 안줄게 아 겸르기 규례데 겸르기 규서를 디샤고래.
So bearing in mind then the last two segments, first the four divisions of this topic, starting with the causes, then the objects, then the method for going for refuge, and fourthly the precepts. We then presented briefly the analogy of a patient. So bearing that in mind then, we come to understand now the topic of refuge. So the causes is the first outline, and this we have been covering in the last 2 weeks, as well as last year, when last year we were looking at the topic of the impermanence of this life. And we came to see in that topic that this human rebirth, which is so precious that we've achieved, it is in its very nature impermanent. It will last. It will come to an end. So there the meditations were it would lead to the certainty that death will come. And moreover, not only will this life end, but its time of this death and the cause of its ending, or the reason for it ending, this is completely unknown. So death will come, and it could come at any moment. Then that meditation led to the ones we are looking at in the last couple of weeks, which is when we die, rebirth is certain, and that rebirth will only be in one of two directions. Either we'll be propelled through the power of our previously accumulated virtue into another happy migration, a rebirth as a human or God, or we'll be propelled through the power of our previously accumulated negative karma into one of the three suffering lower realms. And then in the last 2 weeks, we've been looking in a little detail at some of those sufferings that beings are experiencing in those realms and await any being that does fall into these lower realms. So the purpose of that meditation, as was mentioned, one of those purposes of that meditation was to gain the knowledge to see what potentially lies before one and thereby give fear for such an experience. Generating fear for such an experience, one will commit to, one will have the determination to do all one can not to be born there. And what does that entail? ensuring that the causes that lead to such rebirth are not accumulated. And this then leads to a fear for engaging in negativities, a determination not to engage in negativities, this determination not to accumulate causes that, if they ripen in a propelling karma, will lead to a rebirth in a suffering realm. So this here so that process is the first object, the first outline in the section on the meditation on refuge, which is the causes that lead one to going for refuge.
나주 데 타에게 턱시디 매와서 술은 누버 열어선 멤버는 누버 열어서 비기 이시제 지로 받아 멤버 델라 누버 열어서 이치 매나 디젤 오다디 제투기 나면나 삼바는 독바사바나 멤버 디젤 둥고 말아와 디네 인자 멤버 델은 델리기 나츠 세투에 누버 멤버 델 열어서 이시에 디셔라 디나신다 먼저 둥알레 가서면 둥알레 소수게 나자 딜레 지니 지바 나신 콜비 둥알레 나서게 둥알레 파지 델레 타고 선배삼게 델레네 타도 델레 타니 교회에도 술 니버스로 여선 건조스는 니버도 열에 선배 델레 교비 니버스로 건조스는 열에서 이체 언디 니버도 점도 규제 난 규제네 이체 스케어도 하나 갈리그레스네 대신 아주 멤버라 나지세 니버 멤버들 열에 삼여도 되네 로디디 엄만베디 네 나츠데 멤버 디멘지 바다 멤버 디깅에 나츠데 세게스 미치질리기로 와 세투그레스 미치질리기로 와 온디 나신 당 아주게 건조스나 잡수 줘야 유디 가서 수레스네 건조스 잡수 줘야 유디 건조스물이다 산요 건조 최고죠 기능 건조스 뭐 잡수 줘야 유디 건조스물이래 지나다 잡수 줘야 잠로디 가래 랍나 지나 둥아 타달레 건조비 니바디 건조스물 여러 이치 전에 다 건조스물 껴그래 산비 이치되다 건조이 둥아 타다 코비 둥아 타달레 타다 건조스물 껴그래 산비 이치되다 니 잠로서 어디 되는 이치된 못들
What's just been accounted, then relating that to the analogy, knowing that we are ill, coming to have recognized that we are afflicted with a disease, will lead to the thought arising, I want to be freed from this suffering, I want to heal from this disease. And that's what we've just looked at there. Having seen the possibility of falling into the lower realms, we give rise to the determination to prevent this from happening, to do all we can to prevent this from happening. And this comes from a fear of the sufferings of the lower realms, leads to a fear of accumulating the causes that will result in such suffering. And then back to the analogy of the patient, the next thought that will arise for the patient is, who can aid me in my quest to be freed from this disease, to heal from this disease? I need a skilled physician. And they'll seek out a skilled physician, and here it's imperative that they have trust in the physician. If they hear about a doctor, but they believe that doctor's a quack, they're not even going to seek an appointment to see this doctor. They have to have trust to even come into their consulting room, let alone to subject themselves to medical examination and prescription of treatment. So this then brings us to the second outline here, and that is, having given rise to, generated the causes, or given rise to accumulated the causes for refuge, then one turns to the objects of refuge. Who has the ability to protect us from suffering? Who has the ability to help us, to assist us? So those synonyms for refuge. And there we turn our mind to the objects of refuge, the Buddha jewel, the Dharma jewel, the Sangha jewel, these three jewels. So first, having accumulated the causes for refuge, we then come to the second outline, which is now we turn to the three objects of refuge. And here again, just like with the illustration with the physician, it's imperative that we have trust in the three jewels. Having trust that the three jewels can protect us, can assist us, can help us, this mind of trust is refuge. This mind of trust is refuge.
Gyatso gyudila and gyudila ni chagore, nga song dunga le jikshin, jina del jina, nga song dunga dele jikche, dele tarot sempe samlo jikche. That dele jobi nobody, konjusumla yori sempe samlo ichi dinibodi, and the konjanzo jamdu gyuri, jamdu gyuchagore. Then Gyatso yudigarasam konjosumle, sani konjosumde. That Japone de Gare, Japone, Japone, Gares, and some, or that may do not have just may do not di, Conjosum, Gyogure, Sabi Ichita, Delia, Lo Chasan Kiech, that Yugina, Mena, Sambana, Tesum Zana, Jamro Chago Mare, that you took in you Mare, Sambana, Tesum Zanayam, Chesan Gyogure, Sambo Lingi, Lo Pai, some much in the touch, Gyogure, some Ichi Sang much or di, some no did that Jamro.
The causes for refuge, then in brief, is this fear of the lower realms, this fear of falling into these suffering realms. And then secondly, trust in the three jewels. So these two are required. The fear of the rebirth that potentially awaits us, but in addition to that then, is trust that the three jewels have the ability to assist us, to protect us, to come to our defense in our time of need. And that second cause then is also then the object of our refuge. The three jewels, the Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, Sangha jewel. But for this to be an actual mind of refuge, we need to have unwavering trust that the three jewels can provide protection from suffering. They can give us this assistance, this aid that we require. So this trust needs to be free of doubt, needs to rise in a pure and unshakable way from the depths of our heart. Then this is the mind of refuge.
Member Kaba Delia, Sosuke, Tangin, member Digi Jokuri, Sambiki, Yichit Sangmach, Mevaina, the member de Joguina Mena, Sambaina, Garson was Mendi, Awachigina Mena, some Doli Wadine, Tini Mendi, Awachigina Mason Doli, Mendi, Tata Massage, Shandalia, or that he meant to taste Tata in Minas and Mishandala Kishdia, that the name Sirua. Then Shana Kichi or that didn't say our Marzan dinner, Mendi Massa and China, and Sosugi, Ishimena, member Delia, Nazi, member Digi Jopkuri, Sampiki, Yishisamach Mena, member Digi Shebana, Hinchik and Zugi, Jimarakas Dowasachi, Chigua, and Tata Chitumara. Tata Majina, demanding on Zugi, Tata Dudo to the side, Tata Machiban, Sosugi Nazi Tatu or Mariwa. And Dinashi, Mother, do not have the Conjos Jokuri, Sabi Yichis Tempuch Mevaina, that Jokuri is Legor in a Jokina Mena Sambaina, Dine, Conjogi Ma, Jamdugi, Labje Jangu Hedelia, Tata Jantu Mare. So I did Laguti Chana Panto Yanamenasam, then shoot the little Mar, then Gabriel Capja, Mission, I didn't Laguti Jana Panto Yoros Kichina, and Chigi, or the Jana Panto Yamara Lasona, then Dasha Shagrava. Or Dine Conjo Sumlia, Yishi Tempu, Delicopuri, Sebi, Yishi Tempu Chiobaina, Conjo Sumgi, Ma Labjetilia, Labialia, Jundu and Bezuchia, Cabagore. Tis a Labje Bezuchebaina, and Anjugi, Duhade said to Gorda. Dondala, Yishi Hure said to Gimsen Dirida.
Here I want to really emphasize the importance of having unwavering trust in the three jewels. So to make this point, to go back to the analogy of the patient who's recognized that they're afflicted with disease and are now visiting a doctor. When the doctor has diagnosed their illness, the doctor will prescribe medication. That medication will involve, these are the things you need to stop doing because they led to your illness and they will make it worse. And in addition to that, these are the things you need to engage in so as to heal yourself. The perhaps take medication or change one's lifestyle, go against lifelong habits. If the patient doesn't truly trust that doctor, doubt will arise. And that doubt will lead them to not following the advice correctly, not following being committed to the implication to applying the advice, especially if it's challenging. So here we see the fault of not having trust in the doctor that one visits. Similarly, if one doesn't have refuge in the three jewels, if one doesn't, with sincerity, have trust that the three jewels can provide one with our desired protection from suffering, then the advice that we are given, for example, the precepts of refuge, these we're not going to make much effort with. They're going to seem perhaps archaic or not so applicable to us, and we'll easily ignore them. Moreover, just like if a doctor prescribes some treatment, and our friends afterwards say to us, oh, you've been told to do this and not to do that? That makes no sense. I've heard something different. Doubt will arise. And our application, our following of the advice will be influenced. So similarly, if we lack trust in the three jewels, if our refuge is weak, we will easily be swayed by others, and thereby again not follow the precepts or put into practice the advice that we are given. And this all comes from weak refuge, a lack of trust in the three jewels' ability to protect us.
Jibadang, the song Dunga didn't hear some dash, or that deleted Matan the Tapino being also Dunga Geshe Thubten Rabten some Yavade, Gamdu Juries or Chict. Nibade, Jiba, Dele to be Nuba, Conjosum Yoba, said Yoba Sheneda, Yoba Shabbat, Hagovat. Jiba Dele to be Nuba, the Conjosum Yores and Yoba Shene and the Devacade, and the Dignity Gamdu Juries.
Now looking at the text, at the first bullet points, what are the methods to cut off the path to lower rebirth? These are awareness of the danger or the sufferings of lower rebirth as explained above, recognition that the Buddha, the Dharma and Sangha have power to protect you from such rebirth. So here are the two causes. An awareness or a recognition of the danger that potentially awaits us should our previously accumulated negative karma ripen at the time of death and leads us to all the sufferings that we've looked at over the last 2 weeks, the sufferings that beings are experiencing right now in the lower realms. And then secondly, that coming to have trust that the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha have the power, have the ability to protect us from such a rebirth.
Konjo Rinpoche Namba Sumla Sidi Dene, Gyatso to Yu di Shigore, Gyatso to Yu, Kasen Konjo Sum number Sumla, Sulu Gyatso Ores, Konjo Rinpoche Namba, Konjo Sumla Gyatso Ores, Konjo Sum Sidi, Konjo Sum Shigore, Tisa Sanji, Konjo Choko, Killing Konjo Sumbodi, Gyatso to Yu Res.
Earlier when we mentioned the four divisions of this topic, first were the causes for refuge, and the second division were the objects, and the objects then are highlighted here in the third point. Generate awareness of danger by means of meditation, and then take refuge in the three jewels from the depths of your heart. So here, the objects of our refuge, the three jewels, the Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel, these are identified. And from the depths of our heart shows that the sincerity of our trust that we have in them.
Konjo Rinpoche Namba Sumla Sedi, Konjo Sumne Gyatso Yudi. The Ning Tabane Gyatso Dora Jala Sidi Jamdu Shigore, Chesa, Deshi Guni Botella Dene, the Yu Konjo Sumbotella, Sem Dine, Medunga Tala Jobe, Nubadi Konjo Sumdi Jokore, Sem Dine, and Yisishede, yes, Ning Tabane, Ning Tabane, Sem Dine, Chinam and Tesum Ginema. Ding and the same rank ding and we do want the conscious Jabore, Sembe Yishe, the Yishe did a Gyatso draw, yes.
For this trust to be refuge, it needs to be from the depths of one's heart. In other words, it's pure, unshakable, free of doubt. And if it is unshakable, if it is pure in that it's free of doubt, then one has the mind of refuge. One with sincerity knows that the three jewels have the ability to provide one with one's desired protection from suffering.
Dalai unzugi konjosum delikyobe nuba kyoguri sembe ishiche dedi gyudila konjosum kyobe nuba yore sembe ishiche gyudirwa da kyoguri sembe ishi konjosum kyoguri sembe ishidi da unzugi kyamro ngone deche 제사다 이시세야 돼.
등원이 대 양교수마다.
겸동원에 세야 누가 타다를 건조스미 쪼그리에서 빙에 누가 차 타다 누가 타다들 건조스미 쪼그리에서 비시디 다 겸도로 와. 건조스미 쪼비 누가 열에서 돼 겸도기에 규치하고 와. 니 뜻 맞으나 야 추야인가다 로보도 차이도. 건 결례 쪼비 누가 술 열에 건조스미 열에서 비 대바디 이시디 겸도기 규치하고 그래. 제 누가 열에서 게 영도 안다. 니 건조스미 네 누가 타다 건조스미 쪼그리에서 비 이시디다 겸동원에 차고 그래.
There's a subtle distinction to make here. So we see here the two causes for refuge in these two first bullet points. So the second one is recognizing that the three jewels have the ability to provide protection from suffering. So this is a cause for refuge, the recognition that the three jewels have the ability to provide protection. And then the second point is in terms of the objects of refuge. This is then in relation to having trust, unshakable trust towards these three objects. So the cause has now led to this unshakable trust in the three jewels.
건조 숨세지 샤고 산지 건조 최고체 기준 건조 숨 샤고래 디 샤고 바데 빼는 하나 주기 네바디 하나 주기 둥하게 네 하나 주기 네바질이야 네데 세야라 가르고세네 메네 야고 제신은 멤버 캐바치고 그래 디 산지 건조단 빼는 총바래 가르스는 하나 줄이야 둥하세게 탑람 람 냠린체 땡하라 빼 야고 땡신야지고 그래 데네질이야 대바다 마옹바다 판도 가능스도 차사하고는 땡가지고 어디 멤버 캐바드나 지발 상요권초들이 제사다 멤버 캐바디기 캐바 줘봐이나양 대려 멘제 메나 되네가 줄에 멘지 사야 멘지 사야 메나 아니 네발 소투에 패요 말와 제사 매야고 제고래 제사 디 매야고 제바는 아주 나스 데이터도고로 제사 매야고 데이터 빼디 가르라 된데 가르스는 산je 건조기 송비기 최건조 세대래 최건조 세대 최건조 세대 매나 직발에 제상 안 주기 최건조 냠는 제장 안 주기라 최건조도 기회도 아주 동안에 세투고 저투고로 최건조도 매나 직발에 되네 멤버 캐바 제 매야고 쉬어봐이나 때베네 다 지금 매샵 야고 좀 해봐이나 안젤에 맨 뒤수티네 샤워스 네 사고하셔야 되는 좀 매샵 야고 지 이가줄이야 지게 요 지게 로봇치킨 매집 약보 매바이나 양한줄 강아지 체제 동아 세투야 내래 세투야 요마로 제가 현재 마주게 내 세와라 매바 캐바 약보 직지에 되네 매 약보 제신한 직지에 되네 매 약보 직지에 되네 맨디 약보에 될 매샤바 배가지 전부 자와치는 배 판셈도 하네 먼저 매시 약보 지어바이나 니숨 손바이나 아주게 내디 세디 내주 지투고로 봐 안디나시 아주게 아주 코비 누가들 세제 디기 띵기 대화 토바들라양 아니 잡된 바보 사예 야고 된시 사예 권초 고고래 되네 사예 권초 디네 잡고에 최권초도 고고래 되네 안델이야 만주게 르나도 롭된시 로치킨 기준 고쳐서 고고래 디숨보디 여바 있는 아주 코비 누가래 저투야게 저투고래 제가 디숨나네 직상매나 나솔 강아치고 진짜 저투가 가고 차고 제가 디나지 멤버로시네 멤버단 멤버십 약고네 매야고면은 나zel 저투고 말해 디네 멤버십 약고지네 매야고 줘베네 멤제해 약고 신경이 매나 나zel 저투고 말해 제가 멤버십 매야고 여바시 men yabu yobaji, men teke yabu chiyobene, tele rochigen, men shib yabu rokpa yabu chimebayna, nebadi, ane kamala seto kaba chegori, di sum sanluwa, di nashi, tanga zugi, koyu dumali seje, ane tarbada tamje kimbi goba tobala, ane nga zugi, gyab tuengen sanje, ane gyab ngoy chiyokon chodeche, tele rokpa chegen gyab chubyo dajo, sayadi, gedyon gochi di sum ngayabal sanguwa. Cheza dine inza, nga zugi, naba sanje bigi, gyab tele ya, sum shegore, gyab chikbuyo na, sanje chikbuyo na, nga zugi kongo dritu mare. Ta ni yobay na, chik sangme na, ane diya kanga chigire. Cheza sumba chana, ane yagbo shingore, cheza gyab sum shegore. Ta sumle maa yo, gyab hinga shan chigiro wala na, di goya suyo mare chile. Cheza men nel jale, men ba keba chichi, men yagbo chi, men sheba yagbo chi sum chana, nele jotuwe dile maa na, ane kalim chosang chiro chegiro wa, di na jen, ane sumle maa goya mare chile.
The second outline then, the objects of refuge, the three jewels. And again, these can be well understood or understood clearly through the application of the analogy of the patient. So when someone's ill, in order to heal, they will seek out a skilled doctor. And for this physician to be skilled, they'll want a physician who is an expert, who's highly knowledgeable in this particular field, but not just someone who's highly knowledgeable because they've recently graduated, but also has a lot of experience. So similar to this, the Buddha jewel, this most skilled of beings in terms of the experience based on knowledge, is the first refuge object. And to understand then the second jewel, if one sees a highly skilled doctor with knowledge and an experience, but she doesn't, after examining us, prescribe any medication or change in behavior, what was the point of visiting her? She needs to prescribe good medication or the appropriate medication and treatment that we require. And this then is likened to the Dharma jewel, the teachings of the Buddha, because it's the application of the Dharma jewel in the correct method, the correct sequence, that we will attain, we will develop within ourselves freedom from suffering. And then thirdly, having visited the skilled physician and received our prescription, we will almost certainly, especially if this is a severe illness, we will require assistance. Perhaps assistance from a pharmacist in getting the medication and finding out how to take it. Perhaps we'll need care from nursing staff or other skilled professionals in physiotherapy or radiology. There may well be a collection of skilled medical professionals who provide further assistance to ensure that we're following the advice from the doctor well. So here, these further assistants are likened to our companions on the path, the Sangha jewel. So these three then, if we have all three, whether in a medical context, a skilled physician, their prescription, and then assistance to follow that prescription well, we are likely to heal. Similarly, in our context here, if we have trust in the Buddha, in the teachings of the Buddha, and the most skilled of practitioners, the Sangha jewel, then for sure we will attain freedom from suffering. So here, as a practitioner, we need trust, this refuge, trust in the founder teacher, the Dharma jewel, in his teachings, the Buddha, the Dharma jewel, which is the actual refuge, as well as our companions, the Sangha jewel. If we don't have trust in all three of these, refuge in all three, our refuge is incomplete. It's not going to be fully effective. So the fully fledged mind of refuge has unwavering trust in all three jewels. Not in a single object, not just in two of them, but all three. And moreover, there's no need for a fourth object of refuge or a fifth object of refuge, just like if one has consulted an excellent doctor and is following the medication and has good assistance, one doesn't need to go and see further doctors because that will just be a waste of money. So likewise here, one only requires 3 jewels, no more, no less.
먼저 겹수주에 유 겹세를 겹숨세 시작해도 김센들이다 겹숨 지산 겹숨난에 직상면에 저기 안에 강화세야 동화세 투야게 탑람 롭전지야라 안에 딱딱한 요 말했어 다 겹숨 다 겹숨난에 숨래 마음 요번에 이건 거야서요 말했어 그래서 거야면은 겹숨 딱딱 차바에는 니기가 저게 강화세에게 동화세에게 탑람다 차상아 니기 쭉 두고 그래 진짜 쭉 두고 앉아 근데 마스 거야스가요 말 진짜 남부 산지 비기 겹들이야 겹숨 민지민지 샤워 겹숨 샤워래 겹숨내 마 시세다가 죽세다 저거 안에 겹지 코나래서 니엘고 말디니자 겹숨 샤워해야지 멤버 캐바 매야부 마셔야부 숨고 나신 겹마 랍지 한데 망아서 롭된 제가 배 캐봐야고 그래 안 되니기 안 될래 로봇 제가 안 개념 거죠 야고 그래 안 되는 장은 좀 냠는 제배다 최고 줘야 돼 냠는 제네 안 아주 강하세기 최고 주고 그래 진짜 디숨 차나 디고 그래시네 진짜 디네 장은 좀 남부 산이 비기 겹들이야 겹수줘야 유대 겹숨 세샤고 김제로 디래.
This enumeration into 3 objects of refuge is a definite enumeration. It's not 2, it's not 1, it's not 4 or 5, it is 3. And for one's refuge to be fully effective, it needs to be 3 and no less. So this, again, we liken to the analogy. A patient needs to visit a skilled physician, needs to be receive a complete prescription, and then needs to have skilled support to follow that prescription. Likewise, to become freed from all our own afflictions, to be freed from suffering, we need to have unwavering trust in the Buddha, which will mean we'll have not only refuge in the Buddha but also in his teachings, in his unmistaken and complete method for attaining Buddhahood ourselves. And moreover, we need to have this same unwavering trust and conviction in those most skilled of practitioners who are our companions on the spiritual path. And if we then have fully fledged refuge in these 3 objects, then our refuge will lead to great effectiveness in our spiritual training and our spiritual development.
아니래 당은 저기 점저지에게 유 접수주에 유세단 아니 점저 규세단 점저 용어세 나 디소 저기 개발하고 가야 돼 어제치 못 차고로.
What we've looked at thus far, it's imperative that one knows as well the causes of refuge, those first two bullet points, and then the objects of refuge.
저 대시 가르치는 아주 동아래 쪽에 누바디 권조섬로 요래 선비기 이시체다 권조섬에 겹거래 선비 이시체 되라 이시되라 대바되라 저기 몽디에서다 신의 대바 토바서야 돼 니용거래요. 지난에 몽데라도도 윤생 가야 삼마다 재미지 되는지 요다 시에다 하라래 삼제 이시체디 몽디에서 제거래.
This trust, this unwavering trust that we have in that is the mind of refuge, in the ability of the 3 jewels to provide, enable us to gain protection from suffering. This mind of trust is the mind of faith. So faith, this mind of faith, exists in various types of various levels of strength. So we can talk about blind faith and faith that is based on knowledge. Blind faith is something that we would have faith that's based on what we've been told, someone that we have some relationship with, some belief in, some trust in. They tell us something, we trust that, we have faith just based on what we've heard. This is blind faith.
다데네 안에 건조숨기 교비그레 세메 건교비 니바 건조숨 요레 세베게 세바나신 당한주 제바체 심주체 또 예비 김생 가레가레선 두스네 심주체네 제바체네 아니 김자로 통제 어당원에라 데네기 데네 레도 어디인자 교구레 교야 니바디 데네 레 세바 하고도 데리아 김생 통제 한주 데리아 아니지 김생의 연된 통제 안 데리아 교비 니바도 스미체바디 네 This
mind of faith is a mind of faith, and a mind of faith in three jewels. So it's a mind of refuge. But that refuge, though, is not particularly stable. If one develops a refuge that is based on faith, that has come about first in the accumulation of knowledge, and then taken this knowledge as information and subjected it to analysis, to investigation, in other words, meditated on it, first you gain knowledge of, so why are the three objects of refuge, why do they have the ability to provide protection from suffering? And then one gathers this knowledge, and whilst gathering it, and also having gathered it, subjects that knowledge to analysis and investigation, then when one gains certainty in the validity of the three jewels being able to provide protection from suffering, faith based on reasoning will arise, and knowledge-based faith. And this is stable. This is a very powerful mind of faith, a very powerful mind of refuge.
고년 면주 제기 나지디 세제 면주지 투여기 뉴바디 콜로 요래 그 면주지 투그레 삼비기 삼로디 땡데 요래 삼비 이치 정으로 와다 이주 요래 될이야 미션다 지금 오고 맹과 개발의 그 지투그레 삼비기 미션다 지금 셰바 점나 년년 정하주 될래 이치 제나 멤버 개발에서 이치야디 근데 이 모델에서 그 모델이 이치로 착고로 와 다 소수라는 게 제바치는 어디 개발에서도 그 안에 그 멤버 장사디 안에 유니버스는 가와는 장샤 그 로가제 장샤 냠집 간에 그 제샤 두 제바 제도 제네 아니 그 멤버 맞게가랴 그 멤버 장사제 냠뇨로 저 로가제 샤사샤 가와사샤 두 심주제데 아니 가지고 두 제네 오다 그걸 델리아 장도와 데네게 로디기스 그 장샤 데네 그 냠뇨로 로 데네 사도와 데네 사제 그 멤버 제도 왔으면 삼하고는 아니 오늘랑 그 연대 여바 장 연대 여바 하고도 이시디 아니 이시 템포로 이시 줌전에 되면 이게 시작으로 와 배디나지르다.
And this can again be applied to the initial analogy of the patient. So the patient has recognized that there's something wrong, that they're ill, and they seek out a doctor, but they really have no knowledge, no information at their disposal. All they can do is go to the one doctor available, or if they have a friend who says, oh, try that doctor, then they'll go there. They'll have some trust in this doctor because they have a name and a reputation, but that's it. It's very weak. Because it's not based on knowledge, let alone reasoning. However, if the patient has knowledge at their disposal, and they are able to see which doctors cover this field, and then they investigate where they graduated from, when they graduated from, how many years of experience they have, and their success rate in dealing with people suffering with such an affliction. Then, when the doctor is chosen, they'll have far greater trust, far greater faith in that doctor, because it's based on knowledge, and knowledge has been subjected to analysis and investigation. Then they'll see this doctor and have confidence in the prescription that the doctor later gives.
멤버라야 이시체 될래야 소수기 김천 통제 이시체 지다 윤세 마토베네 미션다기 아니지 샤바텔레체네 안주 이시체야지 이시 연구도와 이내양 니여베네 소수기 멤버디야 캐바야 보임바도 김천 소수기 김천 마신바네 현기 샤바텔레 이시체체 통자를 야만주 지하주나 먼저 내래 세 투야 돼 먼저 지 투고로 와네 이치디 니가 치중 요르 되이나 지금 연구로 와 내내 니나신 나간도 건조 숨기 연대된 아주 통제 이시제지다 마통의 이시제배이네야 다 몽대 제제 이시제배네 글리글리 곧 제배네 건조 숨만 접수 조정해서 대랍잘라바이나 랍잘라라비레비레비치네 나주기 안에 냠냠하게 세게시네 나주기 동화대 세 투고거든요 건조기 건조서 연대디에 맞아 글리지 통투고로 와 근데 멘베 개바디 샹기 당보 연대 마다주 소소라 이시제지 메주자로 이 메주야 고치 멘 나지 자선은 근데 냠냠도 어디서 자투구도 거치 투구서 이시리 투고 이시리 다발리 투고로 와 이시 템불리 투고로 아디나신 직바차고로 와
We're seeing here then the differences between these two types of faith, blind faith and a faith based on reasoning and knowledge. So it's important though not to be too dismissive of blind faith, because just like the patient who has no knowledge and just visits the one doctor that's available, that doctor may turn out to be knowledgeable and skilled, and following the advice of the doctor, the patient may well heal. So good results can come based on merely blind faith or only on blind faith. And often that is where one starts. One doesn't have access to knowledge, and all one can do is get the advice from some friend, and the friend says, oh, try this person, and we do, and it works out. So blind faith can lead to good results. And where blind faith, though, is the starting point, if one then, based on that blind faith, gathers knowledge, subjects that knowledge to analysis and investigation, and then sees that the object that one's faith was placed in is valid, then that faith will become much more powerful, because now it transforms into a faith based on knowledge and reasoning. That is a stable faith. That is an unshakable faith. And that will produce even greater results.
다 건조스나 동아리 교배 누바도 건조스는 요래세데 안델야다 안데 가족이 심주시야를 시고래 베네 건조스음기 나송기 지벌 교배 누바 여바야 인데세데 안데 건조스나 간스 나송을 교배 누바 간스 요래람나 다 인데스 요래스 예비 김제가선 다 건조스음기 나송기 지벌 누바 여바야 인데세로와 다데네 디가르스는 상예 건조데 란 지바 타자 탐지를 줘 현지바 타달의 규비기 탑라 캐바 안에 군라 예링메 매진 투진 예링 매진 주바 안에 판다마다 탐지기 뇌제발라 안에 뇌지고레스 되네 인자 안에 겹소 외바레 겹소는 지고레 세상 누베 여바 디레스 오레
Now we've looked at the causes of refuge, and we've looked at the objects of refuge. So now let's take what we've heard and develop this and use some reasoning. Now we come then to the big paragraph at the second half of page 21. So I'm going to read it out. A couple of the lines, some of the translation I'm going to change. So I'll be reading from both the text as well as my own words, so it'll be a little bit mixed. But anyway, the meaning is still pretty much the same. How do the three jewels have the power to protect you from the terrors of the lower realms? The Buddha jewel is free from all fear. Being omniscient, he is a master of ways and protects from every fear. Now my own translation. Since his great compassion has no special affinity with certain beings and a feeling of distance towards others, regardless of whether beings have aided him or not, he engages in beneficial activities for all, and is thus is worthy of refuge, worthy of protection. Because he himself has these qualities, it follows that his teachings, the Dharma and the Sangha, established by him, are also worthy. And then again my own translation. As the founder teachers of non-Buddhist traditions, their teachings and their senior followers lack those same good qualities. They are not suitable to turn to for refuge, for protection. Yeah, and Gyatso. And this one.
다 사유 건조 대 랑이 지바 탐지를 줘와 시로와다. 지사 상기에 라비오데 상계 권조 상계에서 간시 랍나 소수 견 차사 방차 매버서 사와레스 지상 견 타달을 저와레스 지나다 상계를 견세디 균여요 말레스 제 마싱비 견요 말에 소수게 근데 류라나자 생규 동아서 디니 견요 말에 디니 신규 민도스 비게 누구 말에서 디니 견 가요 말 지상 견 차사 매버 견 탐제 매버 쇠 사와레 지상 상계에도 방자 매버 쇠게 요모베리다 이 주미게 제부 동아 이렇게 차사 매버 쇠 바레스 지상 상계 권조데 상계세야데 라니 지바 타달을 줘 바레스
Cikang Tamponi Pesumpa. Okay. Starting at the beginning again. How do the three jewels have the power to protect you from the terrors of the lower realms? So now we come to look at some detail of why the three jewels are suitable to be objects of refuge. So we not just accepting that blind faith is enough, but rather the faith needs to be based on knowledge and reasoning. So now let's gather that knowledge, which then needs to be subjected to analysis. The Buddha jewel is free from all fear. So this line shows that the Buddha has completely eliminated all faults and is freed from all fears because all faults have been completely eliminated, which means there's nothing that is unknown. All faults, no matter how slight, have been completely eliminated. And therefore the Buddha can't experience the results of any negative karma. He can experience no mental impediments, no physical ailments, nothing at all, because all faults have been completely eliminated.
Pena sosorana mirosina, sosorana joborosina, and Shen le roche, Shen yi joina, Bia, and the Gamase to Ayomares. Chisan sosorana yang Subone, Nasada, Be Gangar Hudibin, Shen, and me never chia, Roche called Lapa Tens Patriota, and Denigi, and Roche to Gomar. Dina sosorana Chunalma Dimje, Maduriban, Mi Chunal Dimjoji, Surocheven, Jetuya Marasa Sosokana Tedua. Dina Shinda, Sosogi Guen Chasan Bang, never Sara Meva Ina, and Shenlia, and Shen Yuen said, Dunga Sega and Pampa Duety, Jizam Pampa Gyatso to Maresity. Chazan Dinianza, Sanji Conjo said, Guen Tamjil Joares, Chazan Guen Tamjil Joa inza, and Shelle Pampa Garichi to Negi, Jetu or Resident. Jetu New Chazan Yores.
Someone is impoverished and is struggling just to sustain themselves. When they encounter others in a similar position, they may wish to help ease their suffering, but being severely impoverished themselves, they cannot aid them, or they're limited in how they can help others. Similarly, if someone is severely ill, they may have the wish to help others, but their ability to help others is impeded due to the severity of their illness. Maybe more clearly, if someone is in the process of drowning, they may have a wish to help others. There may be others near them drowning too, but due to the severity of their suffering, there's very little they can do for others. So this can be then likened to ourselves, in that until we have completely eliminated every trace of fault, we may have the wish to benefit others. We may engage in activities to benefit others, but our ability to benefit them is impeded. A Buddha, on the other hand, their ability to help others is limitless. They are not impeded by any fault or any trace of fault at all, and therefore they have this limitless ability to be of benefit to others.
Shen Jiba Tadalo Gibig, Tabla Cabasire. Tizan, Bene Miro, Jibene, Miji Chuli Kigobena, Mishanda Zubutana, Koyoga, Nubaro, Subuya, Jitana, Sosuba Ineam, Bene Chuna, Midi Kyogaki, Tupshiro, Machine Wayna, and Yabu Machine Wayna, 교 투약하고 차고 그래서 제가 그 교회에 탑람대 야구 신고고 그래지래 신고고로 왔어. 그래서 탑람대 야구 마시나 소소에디 마추 오마 교고선 마추날 처음로에나 마딤제네 안양아지 용구로 와. 안제사 코간이 수교 추다들라 미디 간이 땡고도 땡나 탑람대 야구지 두스제네 된 코던 두사르세 교 투약에 탑라 야구 신고 고고 그래서 제가 그 교회에 니바도 슈다 니바 여바이나 교회에 탑람대 야구 마시나 아니 교 투약하고 그래 싫어. 어디나시 상계를 되네고 아니 상계 집어 타달로 저제 샹리야 안 최셰게 되네게 교배게 셴 동안을 교배 뉴버 줘봐이나야 뉴버디 아니 접탄 탑라 캐바 마샤바나 아니디 함 잡다다 책고 말했어 지난 디인자 상계세디 집어 타달로 교배게 간스 교고도 콜레 최를 마서나 랍자 간스게나 판사를 그디게나 야사됐으면 차상 주주들의 템보다 간스 랍지 겨워 간이 최 땡고 차상 신고를 탑라 캐바레스 배마시 탑라 캐바레스 상유 좀 내데데 아니 셴유 동안을 껴베 뉴버여래 뉴버여바나지 셴유 동안을 껴베다게 껴베게 탑라 야고 신고를 해지래.
And the next line here, being omniscient, he is a master of ways that protect from every fear. For example, if we're on a riverbank and we see someone in the river drowning, we may be very strong, very fit, very able, but if we don't know how to swim, our ability to help this person in desperate need cannot be fulfilled. So similarly, what we, as aspirants to be of great benefit to others, what we need is to be skilled in the widest possibility of methods and techniques to benefit others. Without this, it's difficult to benefit others, and we know this from our own experience. You may, in many instances, have the wish to help, but we don't know what to do. Or we try to help, but the outcome is not what we hoped for. A Buddha, though, is not like this, because not only has a Buddha eliminated all faults completely, but a Buddha has developed all good qualities to the state that they perfected. So therefore, the Buddha has the ability to aid others, to help others in perfect accordance with their own unique disposition and inclinations. The Buddha will know exactly what to say. The Buddha will know exactly what to do. He always knows the very best way, the most skillful of ways to aid others. His skillful means are unsurpassed, and that is due to having perfected all good qualities.
상지기 베네 나즈네 anga 신규에 일랍 신규에서는 람사 파주 미디레 팽규에 선마다지 셰샤바나 잠잠 쉬시나 아니 팽야이 삽려야 안 뇌용으로와 데네자 지게 디 탑라 마케바 차르고 그래. 제가 탑라 캐바스는 랍탕으로 마신바 차르고 그래. 제가 랍탕 신바로 지나 간디스 라고도 간디스 람데 야사라 선배 디네자 상이 좀네디 최망부 송고야데 디로와다 베네 가시라 덴버도 요레 송요 가시라 덴버도 요 말에 송요레 안에 지게 데니게 최망부 남다 망부 송야데 감나 메바 데니게 삼바 코 대소네 콜레 판도시 냠네지야레 판도시 용거 바나 데니소네 콜레 판도시 냠네 차상 켄체 송wen자 상지기 최 망부 송고야데 데니차로 베네 도아샤다 나샤다 송야 안디나리 아직 제라마월 송야 도데발라 송야 셈잠발라 송야 땡큐바 송야 룸다미라 미라 최 직 망부 송요로와 제가 디인자 베네 샘잠바 제라마직이야 땡큐베 따와 어디 약쇼를 송샤베나 걸 판도스요 말아 걸 어다 데로 어다디 야범 데로게 아니가요 데네자 상이기 송야디 탑라케바 감나 메벌 코로나 판도 가르치도 디 차사 긴고래 제사 탑라케바세 디네 고래 제사 탑라 마케바 있나 오응의 신고에 디냠네 지오시는 페니 되바메나 하모거나 아니 데리아 판도일레 네베 망아용 아니가 용거로와.
Whilst we have some experience of this in our life where we want to help and we try to help, but it doesn't always turn out so well. We may even end up making a situation worse. And this is the case in everyday life, that this possibility always exists when we try to help. And it certainly is the case with teaching of the Dharma. But here we see from the accounts in the sutra that the Buddha was unique. He was able to lead beings in perfect accordance with the complexities of their own individual karmic backgrounds and their individual spiritual dispositions. And therefore, he taught, for example, to some, he only taught sutra, to others, in other instances, he taught tantra. And he taught to to an audience of some, the philosophical school that was later called the Vaibhashika. To others, he taught the Sautrantika school, to others, the Chittamatrans, and to others, the Madhyamaka school. Always in accordance with their own individual karmic backgrounds, individual spiritual dispositions. So, for example, to some he taught that, yes, phenomena do truly exist. They do have their own inherent nature. To others he taught phenomena, all of phenomena, without exception, lack true existence. So he was able to teach beings precisely in accordance with their own individual predispositions. And this is one of many examples. He was able to teach these differing ways because, as a Buddha, he was completely free of faults and had perfected all good qualities. Again?
Kunla tuji chimbo nyiring meba chubaas. Cheza dadi deji pele ma sonam zo miji chu na dimguyo baina ta mi tele roba che miji shanda chilia ko kyoye ge nuba yue de ke an dele kyoya ge tapshi ya sing ya bo sing yo baina an dele ya semba sang o ko kyobo du sembi ko ningje sembi samlo chmena an ko kyobu ma ro ba ko la ya an di na shin res pe na ni che ya bo sing je an ne che so so ge Tena ya poshin, tabla kaba ina ya, delia and semjelia, ninjeda, jam ninje, mebaina, hadi soya, pandoja, calicabores. Dines are San Jemlen delia and jam ninjore, tukji. De Nine sem gedi in Gabriele jam ninjoba, Gabriele meba denemare, Duda, number good to Kedina, she has some jeduma that Dana, Sembe Samlochida, she only digi the Dena, Sembe somebody jam ninja the Kedina yores, Niring yoba, Kashela yoba, Kashela meba, denemares. And then Gabriele Niri Casa jam ninjoba, Gabriele meba denemare, Duda, number kundo, the Gansa, Surinea, Chikyang. Dunga Jana Sambasana, Diavara Dena Sembe, Samlodi, Gedina Yores, Dini Inzang, and Sanyo Jimni Delia, and Shengi Dunga say the Digituela, Duida, number of Kundu Chasang, Chikian Yores, in Denigi, Niering Mebachuba, Dini Inzang, and Sayegi Delia, Gasore, Nubatinishi, Sanjeleki, Pandochiagi, Chituri, Chibi Nuba Yobadi.
In the start then of the next line, I'll use my own translation. Since the Buddha's great compassion has no special affinity with certain beings and a feeling of distance towards others. So the meaning of the start of this next sentence is that the Buddha's compassion is completely impartial. He doesn't feel more of an affinity with certain groups and some a distance or lack of interest towards others. It's completely impartial. And this is imperative in terms of having the ability to benefit others, the ability to provide protection for others. Because on the other hand, if someone is very knowledgeable on the Dharma, but their love and compassion isn't well developed, it could be difficult for them to be of great benefit to beings. Because they will feel closer to some, and therefore will go out of the way to help ease their burden of suffering and help bring happiness to them. But to others that this person feels no particular affinity for, or maybe even aversion towards, their willingness to share their knowledge, impart their knowledge, will be impeded, will be impacted. Moreover, such a person may also, their disposition may be inconsistent, they may be quite moody. Sometimes they feel free to give, wanting to help. Other times, just not up to today. A Buddha does not have this. A Buddha has transcended all faults. It's free of each and every fault. And therefore, feels a feeling of closeness to all beings, not closer to some than to others, but this mind of equanimity towards all. And therefore, his love, which has been developed to the degree of perfection, as has his compassion, ensures that his unmistaken knowledge can be shared with others, always willingly and always in accordance with their own unique personalities.
판다마다 탐지기 된 제바스. 지상 나 판다마다 탐지기 된 제바라데 아즈는 상예리아 안지게 소설야 년구로 휴게유나 델야 소설야 년구 휴게유나 델야 최시하다. 델야 소설야 년구 휴게면나 최마셔봐. 되네 말해서. 아니야 녀마지 상이 최시 되네 안고 냠네 야고 마제바 마녀바이나 아다딩 예시에시 녀마시 닝유민도다지 셔와 말해서 되네 말해서. 지상当然最呢，说说了要过去呢，俺这个年过的要过我那样爬去写的，年过的嘛这边呢，俺这个没有对呢，俺年嘛这个最谢谢，那要不嘛年了嘛这边呢，我当年嘛些年了要不开领几个但是没上边上头用水软啊说呢，上届了的那要嘛的，说说了年过人呢，这马上呢，说这的那个要嘛的，就是说是年过培根鸡呢的，没培根鸡。说了一年年龄没把的，甚至于对东亚些的地区主要了，那讲话这个意思，那当然这年马路嘛送点那样，你们要不嘛些白呢，点了下些嘛，点了呢一个样呢样都可以讲东亚些地区主要给他们来别的解决呢，上一个段这个，其实说上一个甚至加上了年龄没把，那说了这个的嘛个。가래 제베네 상이기 아니 파 동아세데 디기투비야기 된달 상이기 자와체바들라 아니 게디나 지지부지강 지금마도 아니 가실제 가실 마제바다 되네게 예리제야 되네 요 말에서 제가 판다마다 탐지기 된 제바레스 상이기 레갈 마소네 자왈 마소 되네 난고레제.
In the rest of the sentence, since his great compassion has no special affinity with certain beings and a feeling of distance towards others, regardless of whether beings have aided him or not, he engages in beneficial activities for all and is thus worthy of refuge, worthy of protection. So ourselves as ordinary beings, we tend to feel closer to certain individuals or groups and distant towards others. And this may be because of how they relate to us and so forth. The Buddha, of course, is freed of all of this. But more than this very coarse feeling of close to some distance from others, the Buddha is also freed from the attitude of, well, these students, I've taught them this particular practice. They didn't put it into practice. I'm not going to teach them any further. If they're not bothered to follow my advice, I'm not bothered to teach them. The Buddha doesn't think like this. The Buddha doesn't think, I've told them already, they've heard it, I'm not going to tell them again. The Buddha doesn't think like that, doesn't push others away. As many times as a being needs to hear the same teaching, until eventually they accumulate the causes to be able to put it into practice, the Buddha will guide them. And the motivation is completely freed of a feeling of closeness towards some and separation to others, but is guided by the unmistaken understanding that all beings are the same in wanting to experience only happiness, and all beings are the same in not wanting to experience any problem or difficulty. So therefore, freed of this feeling of closeness to some and distance from others, freed of likes and dislikes, the Buddha never tires of helping, and will always help in every way that he can, precisely in accordance with the needs of beings.
Dene zada sangye le yunden dene stu, dene zada sangye yunden du chine samta, dene zada sangye yunden dene yoba yenza, chiza sangye le ya dunga tada le gyebe nubadi, sangye koncho le den du, chiza koncho tele nganzuki dunga tada le sangye gyobure, sambi ichi jen, jeyadi, je chogo le, chiza dene sangye le yunden dene yoba yenza, odu chine, gyumsen ro samta de, dene samta de, ya ichi yoba de,
So these then are some of the reasons why the Buddha is a suitable object of refuge. So one needs to come to know these qualities, hear them, understand them, reflect on them. And in this way, one will see that the Buddha is suitable as an object of refuge, an object that can provide protection and assistance.
tarba tamji kimbe togo ko kowe dungal jogo ndoya dele ya ngazuge tapji ni tapji jiche lam nyamlen jiche drone mado shen jotu ya mere sida nyamlen je bala ngazu nyamlen je na lapkan da ro jige ne karre lamna ta gonjo sumbo de se sida sanji gonjo de la captain bobo la go captain bobo la du de nyamlen dambo dijo ni ba de sumbo dijo captain ga ne dire 세상에 개념 고절을 접두베 다로라 가서 냠는 제비급을 양아줄 로제 냠는 열게 따야 냠는 제타데 내래 아니 지 로제게 개념 고절 최고래 세상에 최고조 접무에서 그래 세상 안쪽에 개념 상얘기 마 접된 집에 람디 가서 냠는 제 개념 고절이 로제 발레데 가서 냠는 제네 가서 귤라 람 귤라게 람딘 세리 귤라게 근데 람딘 귤라게 어디 람딘 디도 뇽모바 군다 방배 방바세다 되네 한제 방배 방바 고튼 데라 망보 용 리 망보 되네 지 군다 방배 방바서 고튼 지간 주길래 끼어도 내가 주길라 최고조 깨바래 제가 최고조 생각을 줄래 끼어도 되네 코비 동안에 아주 드레스하래다 코비 동안에 봐 내가 코비 동안이야 요 말에 내 반사 언지 제가 최고조도 겹타로 되네 겹고 그래서 제가 되네 인상은 저기 냠는 제사디 디샤고로 와
What is the reason, just to recap now to what we started with tonight, what is the reason why we need to go for refuge? Why do we need to turn somewhere for protection? We turn for protection because we want protection from suffering, meaning we want to be freed from suffering. We don't want to suffer. And the only way that we can attain freedom from suffering is through our own self-transformation, our inner transformation. In other words, practicing, transforming our minds, gaining experience of the Dharma. And to bring this about, we need a teacher and we need companions. We need helpers, assistants. So this then turns us towards the three jewels, in that the Buddha jewel is the teacher of refuge. He's the founder teacher who taught the whole Buddha Dharma. It's called the teacher of refuge. The Sangha jewel, they are the skilled practitioners who serve as our companions, as our helpers. And the Dharma jewel is what we are striving to develop within ourselves. These are the true cessations in the minds of the Sangha jewel, the true cessations and true paths. The results of having trained with great diligence in the teachings of the Buddha. The Sangha jewel have given rise to true paths and true cessations. And that's the Dharma jewel in their continuum. This is what we are striving to give rise to. That is the freedom of suffering. So these are the reasons why we turn for refuge, for freedom of suffering. We turn towards the founder teacher, as well as towards these companions, who all of whom, the founder teacher and the Sangha jewel, possess the Dharma jewel. And we are striving to give rise to that within ourselves too.
Deniki samdane tanga songe dunga le kebe nyuba de sule kemne konjo sumba de la yora sambe ge den yore sambe ishiti deba de ishiti idu sinanga de diane yando samda di samdane ende tele kebe nyuba de konjo sumde yoba ta nge dunga thada le kebe konjo sumi kyogre sambe ishiti da konjo sumi kyogre sambe lo dingi ichichi ne lo ke di ane di kyamdore di yane yando nga du chine samda dine samdane andu chine kabrele ya ane nga ju yang 대시 교비 뉴베 그 교비 юм전 가르라나 상예 권초려야 한 그런 집화 타다래 차상 균 타다를 저 차와지 상예 세야돼 지상 그런 게 이한저 람돼야들라 탑라 캐바래 지상 안으로 상예라 잠니지 예링요 말에 그디나 지상 다 상예라 그디나 semjengi 팸비 동아세 디기세 디기 두비알이야 된자야 지거래 삼제 되니 자 상예세 뱀마세 ngazu dunga thada le tyobe nyuba konju so yore a sam di yane ya do samda de ngazu gi samda de ke chimbo chawar jisa deni ge samlo de ngazu gi shukche bo temdo de ke yodu ngazu namba sangje bo ne si chagor kane sheba namba sangje ba la ba na shin don da ning bo de ngazu jamdo de yue de sa namba sangje bo ne chagor ba deni za di yane ya do samda ba ina ngazu gi samde de tembo de nyuba de ma so ne chaje ru go ba because Nuba Chair Drovena, Sangi Labjalia, Labialia, Jundri number Nubala Shukcheli Gore. Sangi Labiala, Nubachi Kazel, Jundri Chase Labaina, didn't lie again Yamlin Chetating on the Yapu, Shin, Yamlin Jeda Yaposhina, and then Yamlin Jel goes to then Yamlin Chevaina, and ya Manzuki, ya. Tarpa Tamjiki Bokovala, Tanya to Goro. The name Zang Jamro Kungu said, "Tis the Dunga Tata, give nobody, conscious Mayore, Telecupuri, Sambi Easy Cheche, then Zuki Dushi Easy Che sometime. The name Easy Cheche, Zuki, and Shally. Ranchibus Matavachi, Simjan Tamji Dunga, the Koya, do nobody, conscious Mayore, conscious Kupuri, Sambi Easy Che, and the Enza, and Zuki. Gang to do Tuyakare, Juine, that didn't Semja Tamji, Korea Dungal, Cube, Conjusum, the ends of Conjusum, Gogrias, Easy JB, Tone, Zuki, and many Sava in Nada, Kora Corinada, then Janju Sem Gomba in Nada, Tony Gomba in Nada, Chazan Duchin Gobana, and in case you're Lapchimbo Chatu Gore, which is the Dine Zangazuki, Dambo Jamdu, some Dang, Dine some Tane, Ditone. Jugi Chachu Sem Gomya, that Digali Sosurangi, Tonio Gomya, Karakar Gumwine, and the Kesha Karjubine, Chedi, Bezuchedi, Gechimachagores. The ring of the Chedi, that didn't some died here.
How do you tomorrow go about meditating on this topic? So the first point is the link with the previous meditations, where we reflect that we have achieved this precious human rebirth, but it will end. It's certain it will end, but when is unknown. And at the time of death, there still exists the potential that we may fall into the sufferings of the lower realms. And we certainly do not want to suffer any more than we are now. In fact, we only want to experience happiness. Then that would be the first step. So just a brief overview of the previous meditation topics. And then coming to this meditation topic, we reflect on who has the ability to guide us so that we can attain freedom from suffering, who has the ability to protect us from suffering. That is the three jewels. And then here it's important that one doesn't just accept this, but engages in a reflection on the reasons that one has heard tonight, thinking that the Buddha is freed of all faults because he's completely purified his mind, he's perfected all good qualities, and thereby can guide beings in a way that is faultless, in that his knowledge and experience is such. Moreover, his love and compassion have been perfected, as well as his wisdom, and therefore he's always looking for ways to benefit others and will act in a way precisely in accordance with beings' individual personalities. And therefore is the most skilled of guides, and the more one reflects on this, the more of an impact it has on one's mind. And therefore the trust that one has becomes more stable, more unshakable. And then one starts, as one does this meditation every day, turning towards the three jewels, turning particularly towards the Dharma for advice and how to deal with our difficulties. And this comes about through meditating on these topics repeatedly over a sustained period, because the result of the meditation arises ever more stronger within one. And this has the impact of one will seek out the teachings of the Buddha. One will want to apply the advice that one is given. One will want to develop the minds of the Buddha Dharma within oneself. And as this wish arises ever more sincerely within us, our life, we start to reprioritize our life and put more, and with joy, put more effort into receiving teachings and reflecting on them. And in this way, with ever greater speed, we transform our way of thinking. And this includes then moving our way of thinking from how this meditation started, which was, I don't want to suffer. I want to be freed of suffering. And now we will have the mental strength to more easily be able to think about the suffering of all others, not just those that we feel an affinity with, but all others. And that then further serves to strengthen our wish to develop the minds of the Buddha Dharma within us, so that we too can become just like our founder teacher and become a skilled guide, a guide that can lead others in accordance with their own complexities of their own individual karmic backgrounds. We will strive to become an example to others. And then, as this motivation grows in strength within us, all the various practices we engage in, whether it's receiving teachings, meditating on those teachings, circumambulation, recitation of mantra, these will certainly all be Buddhist practices because they'll be based in refuge, and they'll have as their goal enlightenment for the sake of others. So this, in brief, is how to meditate on this topic. Thank you, and then we'll conclude here for tonight. Thank you.